Did you ever wonder what a certain type of cry means? Or what your baby is trying to tell you with a facial expression? Fortunately, there are researchers who have answers to your questions. Let's start with crying. According to researchers, there are three main types of crying. There is the basic cry, which is characterized by its gradual and soft start and grows with intensity. This usually signals that the baby is hungry or tired. Then there is the mad cry. The mad cry is characterized by more intensity than the basic cry. Of course, this cry signals something is irritating the baby. Then there is the pain cry. This begins with a sudden, long burst of crying, followed by a long pause and gasping. You may hear this, for example, in a doctor's office after a shot or blood test. Or stomach gas is another common source of discomfort that could lead to a pain cry. All three represent the baby's efforts at communication. In other words, while a baby cannot speak, she does have her five senses that tell her what feels right or wrong, and this feeling can be expressed the only way she knows: crying. Priscilla Dunstan, an Australian researcher and mother, claims she has unlocked the secret language of babies and can provide caregivers with a guide to babies' cries. You can check her out at www.dunstanbaby.com. Ne, meaning I'm hungry. Oh, meaning I'm tired. He, meaning I'm uncomfortable. Earth, meaning I have lower gas. Meaning I need to burp. We're putting this in because it looks interesting, so you might want to check it out for yourself. We didn't find much in mainstream research to either verify or disqualify this theory of baby speak. Let's move on to facial expressions. There has been a lot of research on this subject. It is fascinating that babies come equipped with many of the same facial expressions that can be observed in adults. These facial expressions provide valuable clues regarding the mood of the baby. Researchers observe a baby's expressions and then systematically code their observations and form conclusions based on facial movements. For the most part, these systems agree that facial movement convey some type of emotional signals. So let's look at some baby faces to see what they are telling us. Figure 1, the open expression. This is characterized by the brows slightly raised, the mouth relaxed and open. There is no sign of tension. This expression can be described as wide-eyed wonder or curiosity. It is a very common expression in young infants. It is generally understood that the infant is ready to explore. It is common among newborns, but decreases between 2 and 8 months, but appears regularly in the 10 to 12 month range. Figure number 2, the surprise expression. The surprise expression is characterized by raised and arched brows. The eyes are wide, the mouth gaps open, and the jaw is slack. It is interesting that the full surprise expression is rarely seen in young infants. Often, the surprise expression does not occur where mom and dad might expect it to occur. For example, a jack-in-the-box does not surprise a majority of babies. Researchers found that when a baby first learned they could control music by tugging on a string, a surprise expression resulted. But when the behavior became learned, it was no longer a surprise. Sort of like when we first learned something new on the computer. There is a moment of wow, but after a while, the thing becomes old hat. Figure 3, enjoyment expression. This is characterized by smiling and laughter. The eyes are narrowed, the mouth widened, with the corners raised. It appears that a human face elicits the enjoyment expression, more so than other stimuli. This signals that the baby is ready to engage socially. Babies are born with this tendency of social engagement. They want to make friends with mommy, and you can see it. Interestingly, social smiling peaks between 12 through 14 weeks of age, but after 16 weeks, babies become a little bit more picky about who they will smile at. You see, the infant is beginning to recognize the people close to her, so familiarity with mom or dad is marked by smiling. This smiling begins to signal social cognitive development. So maybe it's a good thing she doesn't smile at the guy who is there to repair the refrigerator. Figure 4, the enjoyment of mastery phase. Here, the baby's expression is characterized by crinkled eyes, widened mouth, and raised dimpled cheeks. This expression is a result of the infant learning to play and explore and master some part of his world. It could be as simple as grasping an object to bring it closer. Generally, the enjoyment of mastery expression occurs at about 1 year of age. It is interesting to note that babies need to learn more and more mastery to elicit the same response. In other words, the first time a toy is grasped and brought closer, this produces the pleasant expression of mastery. But the 10th time the same object is grasped and brought closer does not elicit the same response. Figure 5, ouch face or pain. This expression is characterized by the drawing together and lowering of the brow, a tight squeezing of the eyes resulting in a strong squint. Also, a dropped jaw with a taut or cupped tongue with an angular wide mouth. Around 12 to 18 months, the pain expression becomes anticipatory, meaning the infant shows pain because she has some idea of what to expect at the doctor's office, for example. What may surprise you is that crying is not a reliable indicator of pain in infants. It appears that the facial expression is a more accurate indicator of pain than crying. Body movements can also be read. When a baby is cold, he will tend to move his body more to generate internal heat. And when he is hot, he will assume more of a sunbathing position by extending his arms and legs to allow the excess heat to dissipate. Additionally, babies love motion. Babies seem to crave repetitive motion, rocking or bouncing, for example. The reason behind this is that a baby has a highly developed ability to perceive his own body's motion and balance. Maybe it's like a carnival ride. He's enjoying his own perception of his movement. This is why you may see a repetitive motion in the cradle. Your baby's body language can give you insight into what he is feeling. Harvard doctors, Tronick and Weinberg, have come up with the infant regulatory scoring system, which observed babies and then offered conclusions as to the meaning of actions. Let's take a look. Action: looking at mom's face with positive emotion, meaning baby wants to connect to mom. Action: smiling face or cooing face with positive tone, meaning baby wants mom closer. Action: baby moves his arms and legs in an organized manner, meaning baby reaches for mom or dad. Action: baby looks at an object for 2 or more seconds, meaning baby engages with the object. Babies usually express interest in an object, but do not smile at it. Smiling and expressions of emotion are used for people. Action: baby glances at objects without focusing for more than 2 seconds, meaning baby is scanning her environment. Action: sucking on thumb, meaning baby is comforting himself. Action: sucking on an object, meaning baby is self-comforting himself, or baby could be feeling the object with his mouth. Action: baby turns, twists, or arches her body, meaning baby wants to escape the situation or person. Action: spitting up, hiccuping, or tonguing, meaning baby demonstrates stress indicators. Action: baby becomes frozen or glassy-eyed, meaning the baby is protecting himself by withdrawing. Here, the infant's learning centers are effectively shut down because he is busy protecting himself. Action: baby gives up postural control, meaning baby is withdrawing from the situation. Action: baby demonstrates sadness, stress, or low levels of activity, meaning baby is overwhelmed. It is important to note that crying is not associated with being overwhelmed. Action: baby demonstrates anger, fussiness, and does not want to be picked up, meaning baby is protesting the situation. In other words, the baby wants a change in her situation. Certainly, it can be difficult to know what your baby is trying to tell you. In the old days, a cry was silenced by a baby bottle, even though he may not have been hungry. But with this research, you will have a better idea of what is going on. Always keep in mind those drives of protection and connection. A wet diaper or feeling hungry signals the need for protection. That open expression I discussed earlier makes signal the need to move closer to you. And that is a special invitation to connect with your baby on a deep level to form the attachment that will carry her through the next few months and years and even a lifetime. So, you fed him, changed him, covered him, and he's still crying. Maybe he needs to burp, so you pick him up, set him on your shoulder, pat his back gently, and he lets out a roar. As you put him down, he starts crying. What on earth does he want? The answer is he probably wants you. His drive to connect to you is strong from day one onwards. Once the basic needs have been met, his need to connect to you is still there. He is crying for your attention, so read your baby and respond by giving him what he needs, and watch and wait for the good things that will follow.